A very warm welcome to all. I am Faizan Aushad of Class 9B Kendra Vidyalaya Pangat. Today, me and my friends Shreya Vishnu, Nandana RS, Nimisha, Parvati Anil, Sai Gayatri, Sheedal, Tanya Gaur, and Nainya have prepared a small PPT related to our topic Drainage System of Himachal Pradesh and Kerala, which is related to our Arts Integrated Project. So, let me introduce you all to our PPT. Himachal Pradesh provides water to both the Indus and Ganges basins. The drainage system of the region are the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, the Satluj and the Yamuna. These rivers are perennial and are fed by snow and rainfall. The riverbank culture is closely intertwined in Kerala as a large part of the population is settled near a river, canal or backwater. The historical and cultural narrative we present traces the early civilizations, wars, and trade links, pioneer development initiatives during the British times, and the traditional farming practices in Kerala, apart from cultural aspects such as temple, festivals, boat race, and folk rituals. For further more information, I'll pass on to my friends.
So now let's discuss importance of drainage. Drainage ensures that the soil is properly aerated. If you have excess or standing water, it can choke your crops. Drainage reduces soil and nutrition loss from runoff and can help avoid soil erosion. Drainage can be controlled and saved for future use during periods of dry weather. So now let's move on to Shreya to know more about rivers of Himachal Pradesh and Kerala.
Now let us discuss about the rivers of Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. Rivers of Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh provides water to both the Indus and Ganga basins. The drainage system of the region are the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, the Satluj and the Yamuna. These rivers are perennial and are fed by snow and rainfall. They are protected by an extensive cover of natural vegetation. The Beas rises in the Pir Panchal range near the Rohtang Pass and flows about 256 kilometers in Himachal Pradesh. The Chenab River, the largest river in terms of volume of water, is formed after the meeting of two streams, namely Chandra and Bhaga at Thandi in Lahore. It flows 122 kilometers and covers an area of 7,500 square kilometers. The Ravi is born in Barabangal, Kangra district as a joint stream formed by the glacier fed Badal and Tangari. The Satluj originates in distant Tibet. The river cuts through both the Great Himalayan and the Jaskar ranges and crosses the Indo-Tibetan border. The Yamuna has its origin in Yamunotri in Uttarkashi district, Uttarakhand. The Gaga river originates near the village of Dakshai in the Shivalik hills of Himachal Pradesh. Now, rivers of Kerala. There are 44 major rivers in Kerala, all but 3 originating in the Western Ghats. 41 of them flow westward and 3 eastward. The rivers of Kerala are small in terms of length, breadth, and water discharge. The rivers flow faster owing to the hilly terrain and as the short distance between the Western Ghats and the sea. All the rivers are entirely monsoon fed and many of them shrink into rivulets or dry up completely during summer. Now let us move on to Sheetal to have a small peek on tributaries of Himachal Pradesh and Kerala.
Tributaries. A tributary is a stream or river that flows into a larger stream or river, and it does not flow directly into a sea or an ocean. Tributaries and the main stem river drains the surrounding drainage basins of its surface water and groundwater, leading the water out into an ocean. And the more tributaries that empty into a river, the larger the river grows. Together, the river and its tributaries are called a river system. And the Madhura River is the largest tributary river by the volume in the world with an average discharge of 31,200 cube meters per second. Most large rivers are formed from many tributaries. Each tributary drains a different watershed, carrying runoff and snowmelt from that area. Each tributary's watershed makes up the larger watershed of the mainstream. For example, the Missouri River's massive watershed, that is, it is created by the watershed of dozens of tributaries extending from the provinces of Alberta and Saskatchewan, Canada, through 7 states in the upper Midwest of the US. The Missouri, in turn, is the largest tributary of the Mississippi River, which it meets at a confluence in St. Louis, Missouri. The Mississippi River watershed is the fourth largest in the world. Next is birthplace of the Ganges. The Ganges is a transboundary river of Asia which flows through India and Bangladesh, and it flows more than 2,500 kilometers before reaching the Bay of Bengal. Two of its main tributaries are Alakananda and Bhagirathi. Alakananda, in this given picture, it is muddy in the picture, and Bhagirathi is blue in the picture. Next is people and tributaries. Human activity in tributaries is often responsible for polluting the mainstream. The river carries all the runoff and pollutions from all its tributaries. Rivers with tributaries that drain land that is not used for agriculture or development are usually less polluted than rivers with tributaries in agricultural or urban areas. And the Amazon River is the largest drainage basin in the world. Now, let us move on to Parvati to know about the map.
Thank you, Sheetal, for the wonderful topic tributaries. Now, let's move on to the another topic, that is maps. Now, drainage system of Kerala and their maps. So, the steep sloping land, a predominance of lateralization, the narrow width and the structural control on drainage pattern and the topography have together imposed certain restrictions on the development of flowable landscape. Flat-bottomed valleys flanked by moderate to steep side slopes are important geomorphic features in the midlands and the highlands of Kerala. These valleys owe their origin partly to slope wash and scarp retreat than to normal flowable action. However, majority of the valleys floodplains are found to be misfit. In other words, rivers are flowing through a valley which is much wider and possibly not carved out by the present river system. So, now you would be thinking, what is the meaning of the word lateritization? Now the meaning is any of a group of deposits consisting of residual insoluble deposits of ferric and aluminum oxides is called lateritization. Now you can see two images here, and these images indicates the two maps of drainage system of Kerala, and among them one is the Palakkad district's drainage system. Valleys and floodplains in most cases are narrow with possible exception of Bharatapuzha River, the Periyar River and the Pamma River. Bharatapuzha River has the largest catchment area within Kerala. Now, the meaning of catchment area is a river drain is a specific area which is known as the catchment area of that river. Now let us see the drainage map of the Himachal Pradesh. The three main Himalayan rivers are the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. So these rivers are long and are joined by many tributaries. So from these maps we can see that there are lots of rivers which are the drainage systems of the Himachal Pradesh.
Dams in Himachal Pradesh. Dams in Himachal Pradesh have been constructed on various Indian rivers to serve many purposes. The major dams help in controlling flood and generating power. Some of the dams in Himachal Pradesh are described below. The state of Himachal Pradesh boasts of main principal dams and the reservoirs in its state. There are Bhakra Nagal Dam, the Pandhom Dam, Nanatpa Dam, the Chamera Dam, Gobind Sagar Reservoir and the Maharana Pratap Reservoir. Dams in Kerala. There are 81 dams in Kerala. Of the 81 dams, the Kerala State Electricity Board owns 59 dams which form 45 reservoirs. The Kerala Irrigation Department owns 20 dams which form 20 reservoirs. And the Kerala Water Authority vests the control of 2 dams with 2 reservoirs. 3 dams, Munnar Headwork Dam, Lower Periyar Dam and Maniyar Dam have no drainage area across the river. The Idukki Dam and Idamalayar dams hold 48% of the total storage area captively combined of all dams in Kerala. There are multiple dams in 3 reservoirs: Gavi Dam, Kakki Dam and Idukki Dam. In addition, there are 10 large barrages also in the state. Out of the 81 dams and 37 reservoirs are used for hydroelectricity power. 27 reservoirs are used for irrigation and 9 reservoirs are used for both hydroelectricity power and irrigation. For more information, passing on to Nainya.
So now let's know more about the drainage system of Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. Himachal Pradesh provides water to both Indus-Ganga basin. The drainage system of the region are the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, the Satluj and the Yamuna. These rivers are perennial and are fed by snow and rainfall. They are protected by extensive cover of natural vegetation. The Beas rises in the Parpanjal range near the Rohtang Pass and flows about 256 kilometers in Himachal Pradesh. The river is joined by a number of tributaries. The major tributaries are Parbati, the Horla, the Saints, the Uhi, the Luni, and the Chakki. The northern and eastern tributaries of the river are snow-fed and perennial, while the southern ones are seasonal. During the month of August, increase in inflow sometimes results in flood. So now let's move on to drainage system of Kerala. Of Kerala's 44 rivers, 41 flows westwards and the rest towards east. The basin area of major rivers is located within Western Ghats, a global biodiversity hotspot, while some other rivers, northern rivers, originate laterite hills. The short length of rivers coupled with very high population density, over 30 million people living in a land area 38,000 square kilometer, creates high dependency on water and rivers susceptibility towards environmental onslaughts. So now let's move on to Nandanaras to know more about drainage system.
Network should be cleaned regularly and extended to the rivers that max if possible. Effective rainwater harvest can also solve recharge and prevent the excess waters in the drainage. Proper maintenance of a drain and a drainage system may prevent the collapse in the drain. I hope our small presentation was enjoyable and informative. I thank everyone who cooperated for everything. Thank you.